The economic fairy tale is coming to an end, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about what's about to happen. It's Sunday, March 20th, 2022. It's going to be a very interesting week ahead with everything happening in Eastern Europe, what's happening in these markets, what's happening to the U.S. economy, and just all the uncertainty and volatility across the globe. And it's just more reason for all of you to continue to prepare for what is happening and what is coming. I want to share a couple articles with all of you. I was reading this morning, and this was on CNBC. It's titled, "She Lost Everything in a Fire, Then Her Bank Froze the Savings She Needed to Move On." And we're seeing more and more of these articles where people are having their bank accounts frozen, their money taken, their safe deposit box wiped out, ATMs not working, banks closed. And I don't know how much more people need as a warning sign or a red flag to tell them that the system is breaking down and that our banking system and our financial institutions are going to look out for themselves, not you or I. And we really have to be extremely cautious of where we're putting our money and how we're protecting our money. Saraba Kieta, a Bronx resident, lived in an apartment building that was the site of a deadly fire back in January. Her bank froze her savings shortly after due to a court order that resulted from old credit card debt. Another warning here, people that are so reliant on these credit cards who are now debt slaves. And as we get deeper into this collapse, people who are indebted to credit cards are going to be in very, very big trouble. Credit cards are extremely dangerous, especially right now. Pay them off immediately. If you're somebody that pays them off by the end of the month, fine. If you don't, get rid of the credit cards. They are a crutch, and people just have such a hard time being responsible when they have a $5,000 or $10,000 credit line and they can just buy something today, that instant gratification. And you may be one of those people. And if you're tempted by that instant gratification, get rid of the credit cards, because it's going to end very, very bad for you. Like it's going to end very, very bad for millions of people. Already, millions of people have filed bankruptcy, have had judgments, and they just go back and repeat the same mistake. But the system prioritizes debt collectors, not you. So when you do get into trouble with these credit cards and they file a judgment against you, they're going to take what's in your bank account. They don't care that your kids are starving. They don't care that you can't afford to put gas in your car. They don't care that you have no money left in the bank. They don't care. They don't care that you're just trying to survive day to day. And so many people now are just surviving day to day, and they're now reliant on the use of credit cards. The dependency of these credit cards, it's like a drug addiction now that people cannot get off the credit cards. And this will turn out to be the worst possible time to have debt, to have credit cards, because they're going to wipe you out. And again, they are going to prioritize the banks and these debt collectors, not you. They don't care about how bad it's getting for you. So one way to never become addicted to drugs is never ever do a drug. One way to not get into debt is not use credit cards. They're dangerous, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, there are people out there that can be responsible, pay them off at the end of the month. I get it. But if you're one of these people that's tempted by instant gratification and you know better, stay away from these credit cards. They will take you down. So again, they don't care. They don't care about your kids. They don't care about your day-to-day life. They don't care. They will wipe you out. We're going to see a flood of these credit card judgments coming, and it's going to be very, very damaging to many people's personal lives and their households. Stay away from them. Banks are restocking gold at fastest pace in years. This on the Hedge today. Very interesting. I'll kind of paraphrase through this article. Almost every vault is adding to its inventory, according to this article. JP Morgan leading the way with increases of gold and silver. They added 7.1% of gold and 15.2% of silver to their vaults. This is physical, ladies and gentlemen, not paper. This is physical. 7.1% gold, 15.2% of physical silver over the last month. Question to all of you, why is JP Morgan aggressively restocking their precious metals vaults? What do they know? What are they preparing for? Comment down below. Would love to know your thoughts on this. And if it's such a barbarous relic as they tell you and I, how come we are witnessing central banks stockpiling gold, silver? We're watching countries across the globe stockpile gold. Again, they tell us it's a barbarous relic, but how come it's so important to so many nations and central banks? Here's some advice to everybody. Don't worry about what the central banks and other governments are holding. What we all need to worry about right now is what we are physically holding. Because if you don't hold it, you don't own it. We can read all day long till we're blue in the face that this country's stockpiling gold and this bank's stockpiling gold and silver and why are they doing it? And well, we know why they're doing it, because it's real. It's a real asset. It's real money. It's God's money. And I believe that the price of this barbarous relic is going to continue to go up. And me personally, I will continue to hold it. I will continue to buy more, purchase more. Gold is money. Everything else is credit, ladies and gentlemen. So again, that's a word of advice from me to any of you. Most of you already know this, but we need to really be worrying about what we're holding right now, not what other people, what other banks, what other countries are, what they're holding. We need to be worrying about what we're holding right now, what we can access, what's physical and what's real money, and what is wealth preservation. And that to me is gold and even silver. I think that silver is very volatile, but it is no doubt going to come along for the ride with gold. And this next article, and I'll end with this article from King World News. Egan von Grier's, the financial and economic collapse that is about to engulf the world will lead to enormous suffering. There is no doubt in my mind. We are witnessing the suffering already. We've been watching suffering over the past couple years. Look at the small business owner. Tell me that they haven't been suffering the last couple years. Look at the amount of vacant real estate in your areas. Look at the crumbling infrastructure. Look at the debts. Look at the deficits. Do I really need to explain it to anybody out there? 98.7% of you know exactly what I'm talking about and get it. So I am just reinforcing the same belief that you have, and to let you know that you are not alone. You're not the only one preparing. You're not the only one that sees the distress that is taking place in this country and in this economy right now. You are not alone. There are millions of people that know exactly what's going on also. That's why they're preparing. Read the comments down below. If you think you're alone, read the comments down below. There are so many people awake and so many people every day waking up to what's happening to this economy. Confucius said, the superior man thinks always of virtue. The common man thinks of comfort. The common man today has mountains of debt, ladies and gentlemen, and the common man today is going to lose. The common man is going to be victims of this economy. They are going to get wiped out. You do not want to be a common man or woman with what we are heading into right now. You need to be a superior man, a superior woman, and be aware and knowledgeable to what is about to happen. Egan von Grier's said this in the article: the debt explosion is not finished. A lot more is coming. He goes on to say, even a monkey would understand that if you print tens of trillions of dollars and keep interest rates at zero or negative for years, the end result will be spectacular inflation. What's coming next? A perfect storm, he says. Everything that can go wrong will go wrong. So comment down below, is Egan von Grier's right or is he wrong? Remember, he owns that wealth management company and those two vaults in the Swiss Alps. And he says that there are so many wealthy people stockpiling gold in his vaults that there is no doubt what is coming. He says the correction will be devastating. Everyone will be slaughtered. Whether you buy the dip or just hold on to stocks, they don't understand, or they will not understand what has hit them. He goes on to say that it'll be different this time. You remember they always tell us it's going to be different this time. Yes, it is going to be different this time because he says stocks likely will decline 75 to 95%, and they're not going to recover for years, if not decades. He says many bonds will be worthless and more suitable for hanging on the bathroom wall. Credit markets will come under extreme pressure as borrowers default. Property markets will blow up. Real estate, I think, is a ticking time bomb, in my opinion. If you're looking to buy a house right now, I think it would be wise to hold off a bit. That's not financial advice, but if you can hold off, hold off. If you can sell right now and you have a place to stay, sell. I think this is definitely a seller's market, and I think that we're getting very, very close. In fact, we're seeing the air coming out of the bubble right now. But if you're thinking about selling, I think I would have that property on the market yesterday. Governments and central banks will be powerless, he says. Unemployment will increase drastically. Pension systems will fail. Social Security could also become history, ladies and gentlemen. It's not about gambling, in my opinion, at this point. It's not about risk at this point. In my humble opinion, ladies and gentlemen, I think right now it's time to be very, very conservative, cautious, using simplicity. At the end of the day, right now, it is about protecting what wealth you have. It's not about doubling my money, buying some Ponzi scheme today and hoping next week that it's $1,000 more, or buying this overvalued company on the stock market and hoping that it's going to go up 20% next week. We are at the height of this bubble, whether it's these markets, bonds, real estate, etc. I think right now the smart money is sitting on the sidelines. I think it's smart to have some cash. I know inflation's eating it up, but I think that's the premium you're going to pay right now holding cash, because when this market gets absolutely devastated and it goes down, let's say it goes down just 30, 40%. Egan von Gers says 75 to 95%. Imagine what you're going to be able to buy with those dollars and with gold. It's going to be historic, biblical. There's no doubt, in my opinion, sales, big sales are coming. And this is why I'm going to be very, very patient and sit on the sidelines. So I'm going to wrap it up. Many of you know, I'll leave with this, many of you know that I'm looking at property in the southern part of the U.S., acreage. And right now, I'm seeing properties, prices much better than they are here in California, but I'm very hesitant right now because I know what's coming. And I'm going to try to be as patient as I can be. Many of you tell me to keep getting out of California, get out of California. I understand. California is sinking, I get it. But I also am really watching this market closely, because we are going to watch it correct and collapse. And so I want to be able to buy as much with my dollars as I can as this thing corrects and collapses. And I'm going to try to time it as close as I can. It's hard to catch falling knives, but I don't need the real estate market to crash to move to the south, but I would like to see a nice little correction begin, and I'm beginning to see that. So me personally, I'm being very, very patient, cash on the sidelines, and stockpiling gold and silver, and having zero debt, which is going to allow me to be very, very versatile, to be able to react very, very quickly when these sales come. If I need to get on a plane tomorrow and get to the south to buy a property in acreage, I'm ready to do that. I can do that tomorrow. But right now it's about the right property at the right price, because I'm not buying anything in a bubble. and this thing is starting to lose air, but I needed to lose a lot more air before I jump in, and it's going to do that in my opinion. So wanted to catch you up on that. Hope everybody's having a great weekend, and I really hope that everybody took a little bit of time to add to their preparations and to become a better asset. Remember, it's not all about having food, water, gold, silver, and all that, but becoming a better asset. When you know how to do more, when you're your own asset, your survivability in this collapse is going to be much, much higher. Remember, do everything you can to put the odds in your favor. And the more you have stockpiled away, the more food, the more water, the more assets, and the more skills that you have, you're going to do very, very well. And a lot of people are going to prosper, and a lot of people are going to become very, very wealthy when this thing crashes. I don't know what this new system's going to look like. I really don't. But I know that there's going to be a lot of people out there who've been very, very patient who are going to become very, very wealthy. Me personally, I just want to have a nice little ranch, and I just want to be somewhere nice and quiet and have a very nice, simple life, and I'm going to be very, very happy. I will watch this implosion of society and this economy take place on a television, not out my front window. So yes, I need to get out of California. That's the plan, and I will do that. So God bless all of you. Thank you for all your prayers. Give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe, and I will talk with all of you very, very soon.